Hello everyone and welcome to a new mod pack on the channel. This is Project Ozone 3 and we're going to play it in Mythic mode. Now, to start off with, we're on a Botania Garden of Glass thing, and over there is a slime island, so that could be quite dangerous, but also probably quite useful. So I mean, not the worst generation. We are also in an ice mountains, which hopefully doesn't affect mob spawning too much. We also have an ability bottle, and oh, isn't that nice? We actually get strength 1 as our starting ability. That's very nice. For those who don't know, Project Ozone 3 is a 1.12 pack, skyblock most of the time, but you can play it on a normal world. And basically, it's just another sort of hardcore questing pack, really. Apart from, you can choose the difficulty, so you can have normal mode, Titan, Kappa, or this new hard one, which came out more recently than the rest, which is Mythic mode, which is what we're going to do today. And firstly, we need to start out with a few quests. So instead of quest rewards, we get rack, which are called random acts of kindness. And we get a little song every time we complete the quest. So these we can use to buy things in the shop or the rewards section. And we are going to save all of our initial rack up so that we can get flight, which is always what we should do. So I'm going to start and make this island a bit more livable the way I normally do it in this pack, and then we'll begin. We need stone, and luckily in a garden of glass world there's a nice and easy way to do it. It's called using an auto hotkey script to shift and right click. But if we click the ground for long enough, we should get plenty of pebbles which we can turn into cobblestone. And once we have those pebbles, we can press K and they will compress into cobblestone. So now we have some blocks to be able to build out our platform with. And I have just dug down to the bedrock layer. We've kept the grass on the top so that we can just stay on the level of the bedrock, really. So yeah, I'm just going to build a nice little platform out. Next, we need to grow trees, and I'm pretty sure we can do ore excavation. We can, it was just set to grave when that's the quest book. There we go. So we've got to do a lot of tree twerking. Strangely, you can make a crafting table the normal way, and we'll change that straight into a crafting station. And with some of the wood we get, we don't get very much plank per wood, we're going to make some wooden crooks. What am I doing? There we go. And these wooden crooks will just enable us to get more saplings and also silkworms from trees, like so. There we go. For silkworms, we need 8 apples. Apples are actually a really good source of food at the beginning of this pack if you cook them, so that should be good. I'm also going to treat myself to a nice stone builders one, mainly because I've grown a giant tree. So this should, there we go. Let's try and catch all of the silkworms that may possibly fall off this thing. Hopefully this isn't big enough for mobs to start spawning. There we go. I'm also going to want a furnace very soon, so let's make ourselves a furnace with some compressed cobblestone. Ta-da! And now we have that, we can start cooking up some of our apples. Oh yes, I forgot. The wood is very short-staffed in this. This is literally the best food in the whole game, so we might as well. I mean, look at this. Cooked apple. That's pretty good for just such a simple food. And now for what I always do, which is basically placing a drawer down. Let's just put it here for now. And I put my rack in the drawer. And we can store it all in there until we have enough for flight, which does take a little while, but we should be able to manage it. We've already got 15. We're so close to 768. I want some string, and what better way to do it than just to put a few silkworms in a very large set of trees, and by large I mean 9, but that's plenty. This should hopefully, and fairly fast, get us enough string to continue everything that we want to do, at least for the foreseeable. Well, that appears to be most of them. There we go, we've already got over a stack of string. I'll just get the rest. And from that I managed to get quite a lot of string, enough to make 60 string meshes. That's quite a lot of string. Not bad. As this is Mythic mode, we want to go big or go home. So I'm going to make 64 string meshes. I'm then going to make a couple of stone hammers and get myself some compressed gravel. And we will turn all of that into flint so I can upgrade all of our string meshes to flint meshes. Meshes is hard to say because flint meshes have a better yield of things like, well, has a yield of diamonds and emeralds and all of that stuff. I'm just going to plant a few more trees here in our little 9x9, and now I can get myself a bit of compressed gravel, which is the most effective way to get this. I don't know why I'm struggling here. There we go. And we can then turn that compressed gravel into compressed sand, and then turn the compressed sand into compressed dust, which we can then sieve at our absolutely ginormous sieve. So yeah, we can do about a stack at a time doing it like this, which is pretty crazy. I probably won't keep it this big. 8 by 8 is a bit of an annoying because it's an even number. I'd rather a 7 by 7. So whatever, it's still pretty fast, and we get absolutely tons of ores, especially iron. You get 1 iron per dust block, which is really, really nice. So I can just sieve for a while. We want a lot of iron because we want to upgrade the meshes, because things like redstone you can only get from iron meshes and not flint meshes. If I click K, I can also compress all of the pieces to make the chunks which we can smelt, but you can also accidentally compress bone meal and get dye clusters, so be careful when doing that. But we should be able to get plenty of resources this way quite fast. We can also enchant the meshes later on as well, which is very nice. I'm just making a wooden crucible so that I can get water. We only need 2 buckets of water, and then we'll have an infinite water source. It takes a little bit of time with the torch, but it's the best we can do at the moment, and again, we only need to do it once. I'm also just going to make some wooden barrels, which we can actually use the water from over here, which isn't a water source, but 4 bottles of that will become a bucket basically, and will fill a barrel for us. And with the barrel I can put dust in and get a clay block. This clay block can be then used to make an unfired clay bucket, which we can smelt into a fired clay bucket, pick up the water from our crucible and put it over with the other bucket of water that we spawned with, and now we have infinite water, which means I can make way more clay, which is always nice, and turn that into normal clay balls. I can turn that into unfired porcelain clay with some bone meal to get myself an unfired crucible, cook that up, and that will allow us to make lava. And right now we have to put the crucible over a torch, so it will be a little bit slow to start with, but once we have a bucket of lava, we can speed that up. So yeah. And now we have our bucket of lava, and normally I would use that to make another bucket of lava, but we should be able to make ourselves a cobblestone generator. And I forgot the water bucket. There we go. 1 cobblestone generator. And to use this, we just need to put it down and then put an inventory on top, and every 2 ticks, it will give us some cobblestone. To be able to upgrade our cobblestone generator so it works a bit better, interesting, we are going to need 8 iron blocks, and in this pack you can't make iron blocks the usual way. You have to make it by casting or in a factorizer. Well, we don't have a factorizer right now, so we are going to have to get a little bit into Tinker's Construct. So first let's make ourselves some lovely blank patterns and make all of the required bits and bobs, such as the pattern chest and a tool station as well. There we go. That should be everything. Well, this is truly not the best dimension in the whole world or biome. It snows. Everything's gonna get covered in snow. That sucks. Stop snowing. I'm gonna make a bed so that it'll stop snowing faster, but that is mildly irritating, to be quite honest. Oh well, what can you do apart from sleep? There we go. 1 bed. Be gone, snow. We want a smeltery, but before we can make a smeltery, we have to make the porcelain version. So here is a porcelain casting table, 1 porcelain casting basin. We are also going to need a seared tank, and this is where we realize that I'm actually a singular glass off being able to make what I wanted. Right, that's remedied. We can make ourselves a porcelain gauge, and then there we go, the porcelain melter. And that should be everything we need. Is that not the quest? I need to cook the porcelain faucet. That's fine. And there we go. There is our melter. I'm not quite sure what we need it for. I forgot. And a little bit of crushing and watering later, we can make ourselves 8 stacks of grout, which is quite a lot actually. And because it's so much, I am cooking up a little bit of our gold and a little bit of our iron so that I can upgrade all 3 furnaces to iron and gold furnaces so they are a bit faster. I'm so dumb. That's not a thing. We can't cook them in the furnaces. We need to cook them in the melter thing. So let's make this so that it's actually on a lava block, and we'll make some lava instead and use that to get ourselves Where should I put this? Not sure really. Somewhere where it won't start a fire probably. Maybe just in this weird corner. But it should be a little faster if we put lava under it anyway. There we go. It's 3 times faster than it is with the torch. And then once we have some actual lava, at least I've got enough to make myself a bucket now, potentially, unless you need plates. How do I make an iron plate? A crushing table. Interesting. I'm also going to semi-automate the crucible just by putting a hopper above it as well. The iron bucket really isn't that necessary right now, to be quite honest. We can just make loads of clay buckets pretty easily for free anyway. And now we can put lava in the bottom, and slowly but surely this will melt. We do need to melt a couple of gold to begin with so that we have I was going to use a piece of iron. Iron's not unabundant in this pack. We get absolutely tons of it, so it doesn't matter what's in one, but we need to use the gold to make ourselves an ingot cast so that we can actually cast out the seed stuff into bricks. Like so. I completely forgot that in this pack you can make chests like this, so actually we get way more efficiency out of it. I can't believe I forgot that, to be quite honest, but whatever. This will just mean we can store in our grout, and I think we get some grout from this quest as well, so now we have plenty of grout. While I'm waiting for our seed stone to be made, I realise this is going to take way too long if I'm manually exporting it, so I have made, well, 10 so far iron meshes so that we can sift some dust and get some redstone. Unluckily for me, the redstone clock is quite expensive. We need a redstone torch, which is cheap, and red alloy, which is 32 redstone. So to make a redstone clock, we need 32 redstone. We have 5 so far. We might need more than 9 stacks of dust to get this, but we'll see. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm also cooking up about 3 stacks of iron. I know we can double it in the smeltery when we get it, but we get an iron chunk, whatever it is, piece, every single bit of dust or gravel or sand. So iron's really not a big issue if we don't spend the whole time doubling it at the beginning. And I've managed to get 35 redstone actually really fast. So I'll take more of our iron out of the furnaces, and we just need to turn 4 into red iron compound, and then I'll take the tiny charcoal out. This has a different fuel efficiency to a normal furnace, so I did tiny charcoal instead of big charcoal because I just thought even though it divides by 8 it would make more sense. Don't think I've explained that very well. And there we go, 1 redstone clock, and all I need to do is chuck it here, and now I'll put a lever in case we ever need to turn it off. Now we are producing our seared stone automatically, and I don't need to worry about it anymore. I think I should have enough to be able to upgrade everything. It's annoying it gets rid of all my lava when I do that, but that's all right. This should be faster, mainly because oh yes, we just do we just have enough? That was just in the wrong place. There we go. We should have that. Should be everything. There we go. There's the quest. So I'll put my controller there. We can put a seared tank, and we can have our basins and stuff. I will make a little bit here so that I can have a couple of hoppers connected to, oh, we've got 2 hoppers, that's good, connected to a chest. This chest, in fact. And that will just mean it will automatically output, though, I mean, we do only have 1 faucet at the moment anyway, so it doesn't really matter too much. There we go. And 1 there for when we have the other one. So now we should be able to continue making our grout, but just a little bit better. I think the lava efficiency is also slightly better because you're cooking more at once. So that's a good thing too. I've built a mob farm, and by a mob farm I mean this will just work for now. It is just a long strip because I find it easier to just be able to hit their feet, and it does have the red crosses underneath. However, I think that slime island is taking a lot of the spawn cap up. So I'm going to take some of our cobblestone and we're going to go and bridge over there and see if I can, well, hopefully let's go put some stuff away before I do this, and hopefully very carefully we will bridge over there, and I will light up and probably block up a lot of the fluid because I think that's really what's spawning everything. Actually, before I do that, oh, things are spawning now. There is definitely stuff spawning on the slime island, but look, we have spawns in our mob farm. It does work. Oh god, that's one of the John Cena creepers. That's fine. They can't see us like this at all. Mind you, I can't really get the drops very easily either. I'm sure I'll figure that out. And baby zombie too. Lovely. I'm gonna drop down the middle of the floor here. I won't go on this bit for killing, but I will for picking up the drops. And now we can run along and pick up drops when we need to and leave through there. Perfect. Yeah, this is definitely taking a lot of our mob spawns. I've gone above so they can't drop on me while I bridge over, but yeah, it's definitely are causing an issue. Forgot to do the slabs. There we go. They are rather violent. Hopefully we can just whack them all and not die. Do the baby ones hurt me? No. Okay, we shall leave the baby ones and try and cover up the slime as best I can so that we don't have any more problems. Perfect. That wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. I thought they might kill me or something, but no, it was alright. I don't know how covered it needs to be. We got a few loot bags from this as well, which is nice. I mean, we can always come back and sort of use this as an actual farm, etc. But for now, that should be pretty much lit up. I would like some slimy leaves. No, the only slime island and it didn't even give me a slime sapling. Mean. I've also got loads of Halloween lollipops. Oh, they cast spells on me when I eat them. I assume not forever. Oh, they're pretty good actually. Yum yum. First loot bag I open, and not only do we get some good pizza, we get a bucket. I think I'll take the bones for now, so I'll just keep going through these. There's only very specific things I'd want to keep most of the time anyway, so a lot of this stuff will get chucked away because a lot of it is actually just fairly useless. So that's our great rewards. Not really very good apart from the bucket, which is actually very nice. I don't know why I've put the tank over on that side. It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, but whatever. Now we should be able to move lava in more easily. I also got the arc furnace electrodes, and there's some more mobs over there for me to kill. Woohoo! And by mobs I mean just creepers. And now, if I move my seared faucet over here, we should be able to get ourselves the 8 iron blocks, which I want to upgrade our cobblestone generator to an actual functional level, rather than what is that? Oh, and it takes ages for the block to cool, of course. But after we have this, it will be much easier to get more iron, upgrade all of these, etc., etc. So it's a necessary evil. And then we'll need like a lot of diamonds after that. So we will be wanting to sift as much gravel as possible very shortly. And finally, we can upgrade it to tier 2, which is faster. I didn't see how much faster. It is one every twice as fast, so we get 1 a second now instead of 1 every 2 seconds, which is still not the fastest, but it's okay. It is still faster, and I'm just waiting. I've just got that going on iron, but I guess with whatever cobble we have in here, I will compress it and we will get some gravel and hopefully some diamonds. Right, of all of that I got 3 diamonds, so this might take a while. I got myself an Enderman, and he even dropped, what's Eslam? I have no idea. And he even got me a nebulous heart, which gives me, I think, does it do anything really? Well, it probably does other things. Oh yes, you need it for a coin of fortune, but it also just gives us 3 ender pearls, so that's pretty nice as a sort of starting thing. I'm mainly now just waiting for more cobblestone. Hurry up, you take too long. And to help create wood for us, I have made a hopping bonsai, like so, and all we need to do is put the oak sapling on top and it will grow and we will get wood and saplings and stuff. And I'm going to make 2 because in the future we will want quite a few. Right now without pipes it's easier just to have a couple, but now we don't really have to worry about chopping down trees anymore. We can just do it. I mean, this is just completely automatic now, so that's very nice. And a bit more time later, we now have a full stack of iron meshes and still only 8 diamonds. So that's pretty slow. I don't know if it's more beneficial to upgrade the meshes or the cobblestone, because this is still pretty slow at the moment and it's annoying. And now it really takes almost no time at all to sift through 9 stacks of gravel. And only 1 diamond from that. So bad. And I've just realised, even though I've played this pack, not all the way through, but I've at least started this pack and got fairly far through, good 6 or something times, I never realised there was a sink here. So now we have infinite water without having to have this pool, which I suppose I will fill in soon. I've always had a water at a source and then used nuclear craft ones. I've never ever made a sink. How strange. Now, for some reason, everything you sieve tends to go in your inventory apart from charged Certus quartz, which likes to chuck itself all over the place. We've probably lost a few doing that, but my main goal was to try and get some yellorium, which we did actually, so that's good. And it wasn't even 9 stacks of sand or anything. These don't go in here, these go in here. There we go. So yeah, now I can cook up a little bit of the yellorium and make a few yellorium blocks. Now I have a feeling we don't know. Okay, we do need to cast the block in the smeltery for this. I thought you could just craft it, but obviously not. And now that we have our yellorium block, if I place this under a crucible, it is now 20 times faster than a torch, which is pretty crazy. I think we can make 2 blocks, so not bad at all. Let's get some initial automations going, and to begin with we have an obsidian automation, and this one is super easy. All we need is a crucible to make us lava. The lava will go into a stone barrel with water on the top, and that will cool down and make obsidian for us, so we can just leave that going. That one's nice and simple. And the next automation is also really simple. We put dust up here that goes into the barrels, or it should do. Oh, it is working. You just can't really see it working. It's a little slow. We need better servos, which I'll get around to making. But basically, so dust goes into one of the barrels and the clay comes out. And slowly but surely we get automatic clay. We just need to put dust in. So that's 2 things. Oh, we've got enough for a portal, basically. That's good. Not too bad at all. Let's get ourselves a tinker's pickaxe. So we are going to make ourselves a tool forge. I know technically we don't need that for the pickaxe, but it's nice to have. I've already made myself a slimy tool rod, which has a 1.3 times modifier on it for durability. We are going to have an iron binding for magnetic and a alumite tool head so that we can mine cobalt and ardite. And there is our pickaxe. Lovely stuff. And now that we have this, when we go to the Nether, which I think we should be able to do, we do need steel. That's fine. We can actually get steel fairly easily. We just need to chuck coal in here. And unlike Greg Tech New Horizons, for example, oh look, we have steel. It's what is the, I can't quite remember the ratio. I think it's 1 stack of coal and 25 iron for 25 steel. But there's our steel. That was good. Who needs a blast furnace when you've just got a smeltery? And there's our flint and steel. So now the Nether has been unlocked and we can go to the Nether. I've chucked this slightly out of the way because the noise is always irritating. Oh, I forgot my food. Let's grab that before we head in. And I'm just going to head in, no armor, because the armor's kind of annoying to make in this pack. Yeah, we have to make any armor. Which one is it? Iota? Yeah, we have to go up slowly through all of them, so that's a bit boring. So instead we're just going to go to the Nether and hopefully we won't die, and I'm going to try and get some ardite and some cobalt and see how that goes. And here we are in the Nether, and already I can see a lot of nice things that we may want, including cobalt, so I'll just grab some of that. And there's also nether quartz. Now I'm pretty sure it's got that mod, oh, iridium, where nether ores do explode. Ardite, we want that as well. So just need to really bear that in mind. I don't think it really will be a big issue. I think pigmen may get cross with me as well. Oh, hello. Emeralds, that's nice. I'll take that. So yes, I'll just do a little bit of mining and see what we can find. Oh, hello, spore creeper. Okay, that was easy enough. Also, I gotta say, playing later mod packs really does make me miss the Nether. I know lots of people like, I hate the Nether in 1.12, it's so boring, but it's so much easier to traverse. Also, I think it helped that we got a really good spawn. Oh, is that heat sand? That's like the best thing for making lava. I'll happily take some of that. And there's a nethermite. So yeah, I mean, I'd much rather go around this Nether where everything seems like pretty flat and easy to traverse, with plenty of ore everywhere and relative calmness, I suppose. There are evil spiders here, however. Hello, Black Widow. You think you dropped something I want? I think we want these for something. No. Oh, no, we do. Factory upgrades. Good to know. Right, so it turns out the nethermites are very strong and will kill you in 3 hits. Oh, I got a magic... Yay, I got a key that teleports me back. That's nice. He's still here. So yes, important to watch out for those, because I didn't even really realize it was there and then I was dead. Whoops. What I would really like more than... Oh, there's diamonds there. What I'm really sort of aiming for is to get... Oh, whoops, that is not what I meant to do. It's just to get enough of everything so that I can make myself a nice manual cleaver and we can go and fight some wither skeletons. Not for their skulls particularly. We don't want to kill the wither more times than we have to, because in this pack he gets harder and annoying the more you kill him. So we're going to try and avoid killing him traditionally as much as possible, and instead I want a drop of evil so that we can start our own mob farm. And that, instead of like DJ2 when you can craft it, it just drops from wither skeletons. So if we kill a few of them, we should be fine. Let me remove this death point. There we go. And I mean, obviously I haven't found a fortress yet either, so that's another part of the plan, but having a nice sword would also be very good. Is he angry with me? Yes. Oh my god. He's very angry with me. Now we have cobalt, we can change our alumite pickaxe into a cobalt pickaxe instead. We can already retire the Elorium block and put heat sand underneath, which cooks lava in 120 times speed, which is pretty crazy. The only issue is my inventory is full and I need some cobble under there. I also have it so that we can store a bit of lava, though I'm pretty sure this will explode if we let it run for too long, so I'll just do a little storage of lava for that instead of too much. And we are just making a few manual plates. We just need one more cobalt in here to get the large sword blade as well. I've also made something called Quivium, which basically is really good for shurikens. I can't quite remember why, but it is. So we're going to make a shuriken out of 4 Quivium knife blades and see how that goes. So firstly we have our cleaver like so, and then we want our shuriken also like so, and this does 150 attack damage. That's kind of crazy. Maybe we shouldn't... Do you think Quivi... How do you even spell it? Quivium? Watch the... That does 9.15 attack damage. Should I have bothered making the manual one? No, I shouldn't have. Oh dear, that was silly of me. Oh well, we've got plenty of... It's glass, ardite, and pink slime, purple slime. We've got tons of all of that. So maybe I'll just pretend I didn't just waste stuff. Yes, we definitely didn't waste any cobalt and ardite making manual and stuff. When Quivium's better, we'll completely ignore that. And I definitely do not have enough ardite to be able to do that, but that's fine. We needed to go back to the nether anyway, because I still need to find the fortress. And we could probably always do a bit more nether quartz as well for adding sharpness to the cleaver. Cobalt's so much more common than ardite, I've found, always when I play mod packs, so we can get some more heat sand as well. Not all bad. I get an ingot of Quivium per ardite ore, so I need about, I think I've got 5 and I need 16, so I need 11. I've got 4 so far. Oh, there's actually a fortress just there, which is, I mean, it's not the easiest thing to get to, but it's not like impossible either. And I've also realised that I can sieve crushed netherrack for ardite, so we don't have to run around finding it in the nether, which is a bit more dangerous. And our nether trip actually got me 21 diamonds, so now we're up to 31, so we have somewhat amount of diamonds, not really very many, but I have some crushed netherrack here that we will do some sifting with, and hopefully we'll get a bit of ardite. And now, after my unfortunate mistake, so at the moment we do 14.8 damage, I add the next two things and we do 18.87 damage, which is a lot more, and crit set targets on fire, which I don't know if it will be good or not. I'm going to put a bunch of quartz on this as well. I know luck's also good, but I like to do a lot of damage. There we go, 24 attack damage. That's pretty decent if I do say so myself. So now we should be able to kill a few wither skeletons and not have too much of an issue. I'm going to put unbreaking on the shuriken, which mainly just requires me making some aluminium brass, which would probably help if I got rid of the tin that's in there before it starts making bronze. I made it to the fortress. We are here. Oh, it has nice stuff for me. Thank you. So I guess we're just gonna explore it a little bit. See how it is, I suppose. Well, this is a dead end, I think. Yes, so that way is not a good way to go. I've got my small schmingets here. They basically fill me up most of the saturation, so that'll be good. I can hear blazes. Let me put this on 1 so I can kill things. Oh, a magma cube. Hello. Oh, he's up there. Interesting. Well, I'll see if we can find any wither skeletons. I think also in this mod pack, wither skeletons spawn. Oh, that gives me diamonds if I put it in the pulverizer. I think by the time you get the pulverizer, I won't care. They spawn in like soul sand-esque places. I can't quite remember. I'm taking these because sometimes they're good. They're capacitors for Ender IO machines. So I guess we're just going to have to hope, because sometimes it's so hard to find wither skeletons. Aha! A skeleton. It has a bow, which is annoying, but oh, we got instant skull. That's kind of crazy. I'm gonna see if I can take that blaze out. There's a couple of blaze spawners over there. 2. Is it gone? Did he despawn? Huh. Okay, well, it's always nice to have a blaze rod. Oh yes, we can one-shot him. Doesn't help that I'm on fire though, so I guess we'll just leave the blazes alone and yeah, just hope for a drop of evil. This is the biome where wither skeletons spawn. And also these other weird things called spinouts, which just sort of stand around. No, 3 wither skeleton skulls and not a drop of evil. That is interesting. The only problem with this biome is it's mostly soul sand, which obviously makes it hard to traverse. And there's spikes everywhere, but you do get, from what I remember, quite a few wither skeletons. And I can pretty much one-shot most things, which is also very nice. Hello. Drop of evil? No, not today. My inventory is getting full already. Oh, I got night vision from a Halloween candy. I can see where I am now. Yay. Goodness. We're getting a skull almost every time, but not a drop of evil. I see your game. Bimp. Oh, I didn't even realise. I do have a drop of evil. We just got it. Woohoo. Okay. That was not too difficult. Oh, there's more with the skeletons over there. I might just kill them on the way out. Yeah, this sword really just makes it easy. I mean, when we want to fight a wither, we can. Oh, they're mostly normal skeletons. They're much more boring, but they should one-shot or fall off anyway. And you, Mr. Wither Skeleton, thank you very much. So now I guess we take our leave. Hello, magma cube. Be gone. Our next very slow automation is to make dirt. We take leaves from a basic drawer, put it into a barrel, and once it is turned into dirt, it will be extracted. And it's just so slow. So we really do need to upgrade the servos when we can, but I'll just get a few more leaves. I mean, we've got so much iron, it doesn't really matter if we make a few shears and just use them like so to get my leaves. Woohoo! Leaves. In here. You may be wondering why I might suddenly want so much dirt. Well, the thing is, when I build a mob farm in this pack, I quite like to use Project Red transportation. I think it moves the items really quick and it stops things getting sort of tangled up, because you do get quite a few mob drops if you get enough looting upgrades, which I can't remember if we need red alloy for that. No, look how cheap that is. That's like ridiculously cheap. And to be able to make what we want, if I look up transportation, we are going to need some of the basic pipes, which are incredibly cheap. We are going to want some interface pipes, I think. It's been a while since I've done this. And probably a couple of junction pipes. And to make all of this, we basically need, well, we kind of need these alumars as well, but that comes with the other two. We are going to need orange alumar and cyan alumar, which is cyan dye and orange dye. Orange dye we can probably get just from having a flat area of grass and just bone mealing it. We'll get dandelions and poppies that way. Cyan's a little bit more annoying. We are going to want a cactus seed for that. We can only get it from crop mutation of sugarcane and potato, and I'm pretty sure, yeah, these don't grow on bonsai pots like sugarcane do, so it's a little bit annoying, but I think it's probably worth it. So potato, sugarcane seeds, I'm pretty sure we can get sugarcane and potato from sieving dirt. How much dirt do we have? 5. Okay, but you have to do it on a string mesh, and I think I did get some from a quest reward. 8. Yes, we do have a few string mesh then, just for this very small setup. So let me grab what dirt I have. I think yeah, there we go, I've got some left. And I will just quickly sieve it and we'll see what sort of things we get. Well, we got carrot seeds, and oh, we did get a cactus seed. Okay, that's pretty nice. Now, is this the pack where I can't make crop sticks until I have a coke oven? Yes, what's coke bricks? Okay, so I'll just put this on sand for now, see how it grows. I don't think we have a hammer. And then once I have enough treated wood... Oh, can I make an engineer's hammer? Yes, just need to grow a little bit of hemp. That's fine. So I guess we're going to have to make a nice little sort of small farm briefly, until we get some of the other things that I need. So there we go. 1 cactus farm for now. That'll take a while. And I also got myself a sugarcane seed. I was just placing it down so that I can put that in a hopping bonsai, because at least I can actually do that. There's a bonsai. You can make it hopping if I can find any wood. There we go. And this can just go over the top of a drawer just like the others. And there we go. Now we get infinite sugarcane without me really having to do anything. And yeah, just need to wait on these, and I'm cooking up a bit of clay so that I can make myself some coke oven bricks. We're going to make 4 coke ovens, I think. There we go. I've upgraded the servo to reinforce, so it should be a little tiny bit faster on the input anyway. And here are some coke oven bricks, and if you've noticed, I've made way too much sandstone for some reason. Don't know quite why I've done that, but whatever. We've got some sandstone now if we ever did need any more, and also it's snowing, which is the worst. And there are our 4 coke ovens. We'll chuck some coal in on this cold winter's night or day. If it was night, it wouldn't be snowing. This is getting quite irritating. I don't think I can vein mine the snow either, which sucks even. What if I have something in my hand? No, you just can't, because that's... Why would you be able to do that? So now we should... Oh, we've got a cactus. We should be able to get a few more things. What... Now we could get crop sticks, probably. Though I still think it won't be the fastest thing in the whole world. I just think I might be able to bone meal it. How are we doing on dirt? 29. And not many oak leaves left, so I guess I should probably get a few more. I know this seems like a lot of work to get logistics, or like a sort of easy logistics pipes, but I think it's definitely worth it. I've always done this, and I've like tried to not do it, but this has always worked out way better than all the other pipes you can get at this stage of the game. Especially like, I mean, the item ducts are fine, but they're slow unless you have a really good servo. So I might as well just do this. Right now I am just making everything out of cobblestone. There's some blocks that I would like to use to build with, which we can't have access to yet. Some of them are probably from the Erebus, actually. There is some, I quite like the archaic bricks from Embers. I think they look nice. I also like the path and the wood from Blood Magic, just another thing we can't get quite yet. So I'm kind of holding off on any sort of proper design until I can do that, and then we'll just move it somewhere over there, probably out of the ice biome. This is a river, at least. Mobs spawn in rivers, don't they? I hope so. But yeah, this is basically the frame. We'll put all the piping down here. The mob farm will be up there. It's just easier to do it like that, I find. And I've made some treated wood. We can make our first treated sticks, which gives us our first crop stick. So now we might be able to give me that. There we go. Can I bone meal that now? Do I have any bone meal? I do. Yes. Oh, and I got loads. Okay, that's probably that sorted out then. For now, it's mostly a patch of grass I need. I don't think this will be big enough. I wonder if I can plant Where's my bones? Normal flowers. Oh, there's a dandelion already. Can I plant a normal yellow flower and get the one? No, that's not a thing. That's all right. I wasn't really expecting it to be a thing. Funnily, you can make blocks of coal in the smeltery, which is helpful because I do actually need a block of coal, and this is the only way for me to get it. Yahoo! With the block of coal, I'm going to make a sandy coal compound, and then I'm going to cook that sandy coal compound into a silicon bowl. Eat your heart out, Greg Tech New Horizons. It can be easy. And with one of our precious diamonds, we are going to make a diamond saw, which allows us to cut the silicon bowl. And with a bit of redstone, we can make ourselves 2 red silicon compounds, which will be then cooked again to give us infused silicon. Well, at least this still works with snow on top of it. We are going to turn our cactus green into cyan dye. Mild mistake was made. Right, problem sorted. We're going to need a few different illumars. Oh, I'm not very good at this, am I? I forgot how much illumar we make, so I need some more red dye, actually. In fact, I know this isn't the best area of bone mealing, but we do get the flowers fairly often, so it's not really too bad. Oh, good, I can vein mine. There we go, green and red illumar dust. And with a glass pane, we can now make ourselves some rooted junction pipes, which will just help us out with bits and bobs. I'm also going to make myself a... Do I need the rooted interface pipe? No, I don't think I do. I don't think that's what I meant. No, I think that is right. We're going to make 4 rooted interface pipes. And now we have some stone. I'm going to make some normal transport pipes. We probably don't need that many. And the next thing we need to make is the extractor chip and the responder chip. So that's quite cheap recipe, really. It's a few gold nuggets and some redstone as well as some paper, and we've had this on for a little bit, so we should be able to make paper fairly easily. And we've got a bit of redstone. Yes, the paper recipe is the same. I can't quite remember how many we'll need of these, so let's just make 6 to start with. I'm also going to make myself an item barrel connector, as well as a barrel hammer, and I think a barrel painter, but I didn't realise I need more wool for that. That's fine, we've got plenty of string. This is one of my favourite things about barrels, is you can just paint them nicely, and we should be able to make ourselves at least a few barrels. Barrels are going to be our main storage, which I don't know if that's weird or not. I really like barrels. I like that you can make infinite storage upgrades for them. And like if you have a nether star, you make 64. See, that's credible. Whoops. Yes, it's a bit hefty on the actual log side of things, but not to be helped. We need quite a few. Lots of stuff comes out of a mob farm, so it's best to be prepared. I'm also going to need an Eye of Ender, as well as a hopper and 3 obsidian over here, which will allow us to make a vacuum hopper, which I'll be using to pick up the drops from the mob farm. So, I accidentally vein mined the floor. I don't know what happens if I teleport to my grave. Oh, thank goodness. It wasn't in the depths of hell or anything. That's nice. Don't vein mine cobble. I should have made everything up some sort of chisel block so I wouldn't do that, but obviously I'm stupid. Oh well, that's actually not as bad as I feared. I thought that was the end. I haven't even taken out too much of the frame. Okay. Silly me. Okay, all sorted. Now the things with the barrels is you can turn them into basically anything you want. So I can turn them into just looking like a normal block. I can make them into a panel, or I can have them like this. I quite like the crate design the most. I think you can also do a bordered one, but I don't like the little thing in the middle. I'd rather it just look like a solid block, so I'm going to paint them more like this. Sadly, you cannot just paint the controller. That's not how this works. You don't need to put any sort of keys or anything. It's not quite as... It's probably not really as good as Draws, but I like having the infinite upgrades being cheap. And, I mean, this is the only pack that really has this mod, so why not? Now, the barrel painter. This lets you basically paint it any block you want, including glass. So, that's so weird. You can have it so it sticks out. There's also, I think, fluids. Still, primal mana. Ooh. So yeah, you can basically paint it anything you want. flowing beetroot soup. Beautiful. I normally just go for quartz or some sort of quartz. I'll have a look through. Oh, enchantment table. Let's see if there's anything that particularly sticks out to me. Shulker box. I quite like the shulker box. That's quite nice, actually. Maybe not in that colour, but that could be good. Yeah, most of it seems to be flowing liquids. I don't quite know why. Yeah, F for flowing. Oh, sea lantern. I mean, that's kind of nice. I like it sort of being bordered and separated like that. But yes, we have, there's a lot of choice. For now, I will go with brown shulker. I may change it in the future. I don't know if it's ugly or not, but this is mostly temporary. Anyway, so yes, that will be our... It has appeared to be one extra long on one side. I need 6 more barrels. Also, they store a little bit more than drawers, so that's automatically a win. You can just lock them like that, so they always just display what's in them, and yeah, there we go. Not too difficult, really. So I need some beetroot seeds, because I thought that would get me red dye easier, and I thought this would be the best way to get loot bags, and you know what? It turns out it kind of is the best way to get loot bags. There's so many mobs here. At least the little ones don't hurt me. The big ones do though, but I managed to get them with my lovely cleaver before any of that, so hopefully none spawn while I'm just looking around. I don't think my coverage really helps, so it doesn't really matter trying to cover it back up again. There we go. So I didn't really leave a lot of space in my inventory before I started doing this, did I? Right, beetroot seeds. Oh, there's other stuff I want. This was a bit of a silly idea. Oh, I've got chests. It's fine, guys. I have chests to put stuff in. We can just chuck everything in a chest while I do this. Woohoo. Mine, please. Aha, beetroot seeds. After a bit of time, I can make our item extractor chips and our item responder chips, which allows us to actually use the pipes. To use an extractor chip, for example, first you need to configure it by right-clicking. This one doesn't really actually need to be configured, but we have a filter here. We can get stuff in certain damage groups. You can have whitelisted or blacklisted. I've changed it to blacklisted because we want everything pulled from this buffer chest, matching metadata, all that. So you get a few little filters in here, and you can put up to 4 cards in a pipe. So we'll just have that as an extractor chip. For an item responder chip, I think I can set priority. So we want we want -10 priority for this. And we probably, yeah, that should be fine. If I lock the drawers, hopefully stuff doesn't come in, because we'd rather it go into the pipe, into the barrels and into the bin. This one, we're going to have whitelisted items only. I think actually maybe that should be on, because I want stuff to go into the bin as well. So I guess if anything else gets pulled out, it will just... Oh, I'll put the blacklist on this one, maybe. We probably... That's a responder chip. I want this one. Oh goodness, I can't remember which one's which. Is this blacklist? Yes, so that goes into the insert. We will have a... Oh, maybe I'll just put a whitelist extract on that. That's blacklist, that's fine. This insert will be whitelist, yep. And have I made too many item extractors? This has got the wrong one in, that's why. This should be a whitelist, and this one should be also... That should be a blacklist, but we want the priority to be really low. So anything that doesn't fit will just get trashed, so as not to fill up the mob farm. So we have to sort filters out and everything. But I need to set the farm up to do that. We are going to use vector plates because they're cheap. Yes, they are actually cheap. And we are wanting a mob masher, like so. And I would like, I mean, I quite like all of these if they're cheap. They are cheap, but some of them are more annoying to get than others. So I'll collect the final bits for the farm and set it up. There are 10 looting upgrades and 10 sharpness upgrades. A stack of vector plates, which is actually more than we need. And this pack is literally one of the worst recipes for a redstone block ever. It's made with red alloy, which is, so it's like 72 redstone instead of 9, and you can't even convert it back into the red alloy. It'll just turn into redstone, so you have to remember that because it's a bit of a pain. And there is the mob masher. Right, everything's set up. I have taken out the thing for that one, so nothing should go into it yet because I'm concerned. There we go. And now we have items going in. I will start filtering them so that they can actually go into the barrels. So bones, experience, catalyzing glands, rotten flesh, all that sort of thing. And that should, it should start taking things out, I thought. But let me see. Filter. Items are blacklisted. Yes. Oh yes, I took that out. Insert. Items are blacklisted. That was the issue. There we go. Now, oh goodness, never mind. Locking it doesn't matter. They're just gonna go in anyway. That's so silly. Oh well. I guess we want most things, but we want to put the loot bags. Oh dear. Well, that didn't really work, but you can see how fast it sort of pulls everything out though. So let me take the loot bags. Luckily, you can do this, which helps. And what we really want is we want them to go into here. Whitelist. And we'll wait for the other sets of loot bags as well. And we want this to be a really high priority. So now loot bags should automatically go into here instead, I think. I hope so anyway. And for the loot bag opener, I basically, well, I mean, you can have up to 36 items filtered. So at the moment, I am just stopping it extracting. And anything I want to keep, I will separate off. For now, it's just nebulous hearts, slime pearls, and dimlet parcels, but we will get more things later on. And like I said, I love the logistics sort of pipes. I know they're not quite logistics pipes, they're Project Red transportation, but they're just so fast and they look nice and smooth. Like, you wouldn't get this sort of extract speed on many things at this stage in the game, and apart from a bit of dye, they're fairly cheap. I mean, look at the rate. I mean, this isn't really keeping up compared to the rate of extraction that we're getting. I may need to get rid of the buffer chest, but I think it's useful. So yeah, we're getting tons of stuff now. That's the mob farm done. We have a big barrel for liquid XP. Oh, we want that. Ender pearls, shadow gems. That's probably it from that selection. And with that, I think it's a good place to end today's episode. We got plenty done. Just as a reminder, as this is the first episode in the series, I do have a Discord now, so feel free to join us. The link is in the description. It's also on my channel page. So yeah, looking forward to seeing you all there. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you all in the next one.